All right, what's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Let's get straight into it. We will start with gold. We're still fairly bearish. I'll double check to see what the 2 hour is saying. Well, the 2 hour is now bearish as well. Maybe even the 4 hour. Four hour is also bearish. So I don't think that this high time frame distribution is going to be of much use to us. And then the daily is obviously still bullish. We've had, two kind of back-to-back local distribution models form, one here, one here. I'm kind of going to remove this because I'm not really focused on this range anymore. If I can get a redistribution for a third time, then obviously, yes, I will take it, but otherwise, and they're both kind of confirmed in Asia, which is interesting to notice. This one didn't give us the best confirmation, but it was, it wouldn't have given us the best risk reward, and then neither did this really, but both of them you can see here confirm the third tap during Asia. So other than that, from another local approach, not a whole lot more to do for gold just yet. Yeah, not a whole lot to go off, to be completely honest. This is our context. No real ranges can be drawn just yet, so let's see what happens. Maybe we get an accumulation here, but we're going to need some better price action. Let's see how this plays out. There's no real valid demand here that I would like to use. Everything's been mitigated. So the fact that we are bullish on the weekly and the daily, you could look at an accumulation here. I'll allow this, but we're just going to need a lot better return to zone coming into that third tab, because as you can see in here, there's no real POI that we can bounce off. This is invalid demand here, so this below is, but this here isn't. So there's no reason for price to randomly reject here, unless, as I've said, we get a very clean return to zone, which then you can obviously potentially risk 0.5% depending on how we break. But outside of that, not a whole lot to do for gold, so we will keep the ball rolling. We'll look at silver. Not a whole lot different on silver. This range is no longer of interest. There's a bit of a creature here. Perfect. Okay. Well, we're in demand, so expect a bounce. We're bearish on the hourly now. And we're obviously now also bearish on, we're already bearish on the 3 and the 4 hour. So we're now bearish on the hourly as well. And the daily. It's just the weekly that's bullish for now. Still. So yeah, expect distributions. Could we potentially accumulate here? Yes. The move needs to be incredibly clean on the way back. I feel like this might not be valid. This is just as local of a scalp as you can get, really, so I wouldn't be putting that much importance on it. Return to zone's clean from a local standpoint. I'll give it that much. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like we'll complete the model. Yeah, the only thing I'll use is this as extreme liquidity. Nothing really else is clean enough. Like, this demand has been mitigated. So we'll see if we can come back later down the track. Otherwise, I would not be putting that much emphasis in this low time frame counter context range. A lot of things can go wrong here. And yeah, there's our Asia high. Asia low has been grabbed. We'll see if we can come back in time for this extreme liquidity sweep. From a distance standpoint, even this might be pushing it, to be honest. We are at 4 hours from tap 1 to 2, and from tap 2 to present. Okay, we have until pretty much until we'll go 7:20 for this to be still valid. So we have 2 more hours, just over 2 more hours. The second given we don't obviously grab this Asia high, then everything is already invalid. But if we start pulling back, we've got until here for this to be valid. As soon as we pass this, if it hasn't grabbed extreme liquidity, not really valid anymore. But obviously, yeah, we need a clean return to zone coming back, because I don't think we're going to get it. And we're probably also going to grab extreme liquidity by the looks of it on the buy side. All right, that is silver. Oil. Obviously very bullish. We caught that perfect accumulation. I think it's 2 videos ago, if you do want to watch a brief breakdown of it. Yeah, it was accumulation we call. It's pretty much here. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Not a whole lot more to do for oil. Like, we're still pushing up. We're still leaving demand behind. I wouldn't really look at any distributions just yet. Yeah, you're just gonna have to be patient here for oil. Yeah, I'm not really gonna try extract something from this small price action in here. Let's just let price play out a little bit more and see if we start moving up towards this supply or if we come back down towards demand. Looking at GBP JPY. Okay, so I had a brief look at this. Well, the counter context distribution occurred, but we just didn't grab our extreme liquidity. We front ran it. Yeah, this exact extreme liquidity POI that we had got front ran by a very small amount. Otherwise, this would have been a beautiful, beautiful trade if we grabbed this. Regardless, I don't think I would have been able to enter because, yeah, confirmed, unofficially confirmed around 2:50 a.m. my time. So, yeah, I would have been in a deep sleep there. So, yeah, regardless, I would not have really caught this. Let's clean this up a little bit. And that's out. Signs to show us that we did distribute. We're probably bearish on the hourly now. Let's have a look. Okay, we're bearish on the hourly as well, and obviously we're probably still bearish on the 4 and the daily. That remains the same, so yes, let's look for redistribution opportunities. I'll still leave that liquidity up there. Supply has been grabbed. Yeah, by looks of it, we have just completed the model, so not really a whole lot more to do here. Let's just leave price alone and let it gather some more data. Because, yeah, at the moment, nothing is of interest to me. USD CHF had this model that we were monitoring yesterday, which never gave us the confirmation we wanted. It just kept moving up higher and higher, and this just became way too much of an extended move. Hence why I did not enter. But overall, we're still bearish on all these time frames, minus the daily. Yeah, this was just upwards market structure, which happened to break. No real range-bound price action. Question for me is there any supply that will give me a redistribution opportunity? That's what you should be looking for. I'm seeing this, but I don't know how valid it's going to be. Maybe it is valid. We'll find out. No, it doesn't look clean at all, but we have a lower time frame structured pool here, which I will actually allow this. This is completely fine. It's clean structure supply, very clean structure supply. Yeah, I'll allow a pullback and redistribution from this supply. This is very much so okay. We'll set our alerts should price want to come back down, and not a whole lot more that can be done here. We're already in a confirmed distribution. We've got the monthly open below us. Just, yeah, be patient and we'll let price play out and see what happens. If we start pulling back and we fail to mitigate this supply, I will allow a potential distribution like this shape up. That's also a possibility. It's very much a possibility, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we'll keep the ball rolling. GBP AUD. Well, we've grabbed the we've grabbed all this liquidity. Well, we're clearly bullish on the hourly. That's for sure. And then we're probably bullish on the 4 as well. And then we're going to still be bullish on the daily, I believe. Yes. Okay, so we're in a fairly bullish context now. We can look for pullbacks into demand POIs. As much as the weekly is still bearish. All right, let's see what POIs we got here. This may not necessarily be valid. So this higher time frame move has already been mitigated, as you can see. And we've just got a whole lot of overlapping. We've got a whole lot of overlapping demand, but what I'm interested to see is if there's a very refined move that hasn't necessarily been mitigated. No, it's pretty much all been mitigated. So this isn't really a valid demand as per se. We've already come back quite deep into it. Maybe there's something more refined. In here, maybe. It's just not really valid, is it? You wouldn't be pulling demand from there. Where are we? Yeah. This just is not valid. Plain and simple. So no, to answer that question, no real demand that we can look at just yet. We just got to let price do its thing, and we've obviously got supply above here. All right, we'll keep the ball rolling. USD JPY. Once again, guys, I talked about it yesterday. Don't force a setup. Very easy. Don't force it. If you're spending too much time trying to force a setup that, oh, maybe this could work, maybe that could work, maybe this tap borderline looks fine, then no, it's not. It's most likely gonna stop you out. The setup needs to be clean and something that you notice pretty quick when it comes to looking at a chart. Are we bearish? Yeah, we are. Yes. Yeah, overall still bearish, still chasing that supply POI mitigation, which we have not yet gotten. Other than that, yeah, not much. Not much, ladies and gents. Is that a bullish candle or is that a bearish candle? Okay, it's bullish. It's a bearish, sorry. Might not necessarily be valid, so just be mindful of that. Maybe there's some valid overlapping structure demand. If it is, then I will allow us to use this. Okay, he might get a move here, slight bounce. Obviously, semi-counter context because you're technically trending quite bearish, but we are in a very local uptrend, so we could bounce off here. We'll see. All right, not a whole lot more to do for USD JPY in this situation. AUD CAD. We're failing demand. Still got supply above. We are also bearish now. We're bearish on the 1. Are we bearish on the 4 though? That's a 4-hour market structure low. And then other than that, not a whole lot. This is valid supply. But just be aware that the supply is kind of in just randomly in a downtrend. It's not in a pivot point. And it's also left behind quite a bit of buy-side liquidity. So just be mindful of how price rejects from this supply if it does that, if it pulls back up. Other than that, not a whole lot more to do for AUD CAD. All right, we'll keep the ball rolling. GBP USD. We've obviously just deviated, failed to break our market structure low. Expect a full rotation back up. I'll allow us to look at this range. let's see what happens. And we have Asia low, which is actually a really good liquidity target where it is currently situated. But yeah, we need to give this a bit more time. For now, I will actually move this towards the top. It's not the cleanest range, but it's like a semi-neutral context. Semi-counter because we are bullish low time frame, but we are bearish high time frame, and we are also in a deviation area, so we can potentially create a low time frame distribution here, which is essentially our high time frame second tap and first deviation, which will let us do something like this. And then eventually in the bigger picture, on the bigger picture, that would be our tap 1, this would be our tap 2, and then we eventually come back up, creating that return to zone for our tap 3, break, short again. So yeah, we can very much predict something like this, so I will leave this up for now. And I will also move this to the top. Okay, NZD CAD. This is last week's weekly open, so it's not of interest. Still bearish. Not a whole lot that I'm willing to do at the moment for NZD CAD. Just to let you all know. Yeah, and I wouldn't look to accumulate here, just in the middle of nowhere to an extent. If the Asia high is where I think it is, then maybe we can consider. Okay, it's not exactly what I thought it was, but we've got some liquidity here. Yeah, let's see what happens. I would treat this range very cautiously, just because there's no real POI to bounce from, as I said, except for this extreme liquidity. Well, it's not necessarily extreme liquidity, it's liquidity. And then there's also quite heavy demand below, so I think price is gonna be much more enticed to come down and mitigate some of this demand first, then rotate up, as opposed to just randomly accumulating here for no reason and then pushing up. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Euro GBP. Well, this actually looks really good, to be honest. tap 1 to tap 2. One day, 3 hours, tap 2 to present. And it's a slow climb as well, you can already tell. Yeah, very valid. This could be good. This could actually be really, really good. We are still bullish on the hourly by the looks of it. We're obviously going to still be bullish on the 4-hour. If I'm looking at market structure, that's an SFP. And that's an SFP. Yeah, so actually, that is an SFP, not the best. And that's an SFP. Yeah, that's an SFP. So yes, we are still bullish on the 4-hour. Very much so. And then we're bearish on the daily. Valid. Could this be a higher time frame accumulation? No. We're leaving behind the sell side. Rapid move down. This can actually be a... We're in a good position for a lower high for a lower low. We can definitely do that. But yeah, let's see what our POIs are saying. No real supply. This might be my extreme liquidity POI. Unless I'm seeing anything better, that might have to be it. And I'm not seeing anything better at the moment. That's too deep in the range for that to be extreme liquidity, yeah. Yeah, this has to be extreme liquidity. There's no other cleaner POI than that. So we're just going to have to wait for price to come up and grab it. Asia low hasn't been swept, which is obviously a green tick. So yeah, this is by far our... this is going to be our biggest watch for today. Haven't been having much luck with this volume profile as of late. Here we go. Not the best, but not the worst. But yeah, let's see if we can sweep this extreme liquidity. We'll move this to the top. Euro USD. What's happened here? Get rid of that. Still bullish on the hourly, still bullish on the for probably still bearish on the daily. Yeah, rightly so. Well, our daily high is around here. Let's have a look where it was. Is that also a 2-day high? Yes, it is. Is it a 3-day high? No, 2-day high. Boom. See if maybe we get a distribution here near this 2-day high. Nope. We will see. Yeah, it needs a lot more time. Nothing really locally going about this range just yet. So let's even get that high time frame distribution around the 2-day high, 2-day hour, yeah, 2 to 1 day high. That's it. ADCHF. Well, it's looking bearish locally. What's going on here? Weekly high. I think this is okay. So it is a weekly SFP, but we might still close bullish. I don't think we're going to come back all of a sudden now, given we've kind of already put in that weekly pivot. So I feel like this might be a weekly SFP. Everything still seems fairly bullish. The 4-hour. The 4-hour is now bearish. Will there be valid supply in here? Let's find out. Hourly is most likely going to be bearish as well. Rightly so. Although this isn't exactly valid supply. Yeah, no real valid. No real valid supply here. So it's not going to be a time front. At the moment, this will be an SFP. It will go down as an SFP until further confirmation. And then from a local perspective, not really a whole lot to do. We're leaving behind quite a bit of sell side. Can expect for it to get swept. So yeah, let's see what happens. And yeah, no real retracement opportunity just yet. I think my mouse has just gone flat. No, wait, we're good. Right, AUD USD. Well, we are bearish on the hourly, and we are still bullish on the 4. Probably still bearish on the daily. Yes. So let's see what POIs we have. Is there anything in here? Doesn't look like it. Actually, there might be some refined supply. Well, look at that, beautiful. This passes. That's fine. That is very fine. Beautiful POI here. Okay. Other than that, not really a whole lot to do for AUD USD. All this has been mitigated. So we're just going to have to leave this as is and move on. USD CAD. Good mitigation there of supply. I think we might be... are we bullish on the hourly? No, still bearish. Still very much so bearish. That's our retracement POI. We're kind of building a supply chain. Let's wait and see if we move into the supply POI here. Excuse me. You know what? I'll fancy a local accumulation scalp here into this supply so we can mitigate the supply and then continue back down. Very cheeky move this, but could play out. Asia high is up here. That's a tough POI to it's a tough POI to target, to be honest, because it is in supply. But on the low time frame, the supply has been mitigated, but there's still a good amount of unmitigated supply. Technically speaking, that's an invalid range pull. We have to use that as the range, yeah. Which could favor us in a way. Yeah, let's see how this pans out. Move this to the top for now. What's a second? Boom. All right. That is liquidity, which isn't... It's not a necessity for it to get grabbed, but it is liquidity. Okay. We talked about AUD/CHF. We have talked about AUD/USD. Euro NZD has mitigated demand. No longer interested in this. Yeah, still bullish on the hour. Still bearish on the 4 for now. Still fairly awkward price action here. Nothing really locally except for this. No real POIs either. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but if you can get some confirmation, you might be able to catch something. Yeah, and it's not really valid demand. It's kind of you can't just pulling it from a, like, it is valid demand, but you're not going to expect much of a reaction from it. We'll leave it up just for now. And then yeah, maybe locally you can scalp, but I don't think we will get that opportunity. Asia low, range low. And then I'm just going to put a alert here to just showcase me if we are reclaiming this range, but based on how these candle closures are happening, I don't think we're going to reclaim anything here. And it's also not valid demand. I'll still put an alert just to show me if we come back into the range, but fairly low probability move this, or low probability setup. We'll keep the ball rolling. GBP and ZD once again, very bullish, so very bullish, but in a confirmed distribution, everything else is bullish. I mean, similar to Euro and ZD. I'll put an alert and see if we can reclaim the range. Otherwise, I am not too interested. We're leaving quite a bit of demand on the way up. Valid demand. And yeah, we'll put our alert and see if we can reclaim the range. But that is it for today. In terms of commodities, just be patient. Not really a whole lot that we want to target. This has, it's just about to, oh no. It's front around that extreme liquidity. Wow. It's front around Asia high. But yeah, in terms of commodities, not a whole lot that I'm too interested in just yet. But Euro GBP and USD CAD are our main pairs. Keep a very close eye out on these. We'll see if we can get our more so Euro GBP. But yeah, we'll see if we can get any sort of confirmations later on in the evening. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for listening, for viewing. Subscribe if you have made it this far. Hope you are enjoying the content, and I'll see you all soon. Peace.